Jesus sat on the edge of a deep well, which Jacob himself gave to his son Joseph, outside the village of Sychar in Samaria. His disciples went to get something for lunch. Jesus could not walk another step because he was extremely exhausted. At the hour when there is no shade, the midday sun falling with aplomb, someone approached carrying a clay jar. It was a young woman of avid words who was accustomed to insults, but keeping a mind of her own, which was not very common in those days. Without greeting the handsome young man who had timidly asked her for some water, she did not even turn to see him. What could she expect from a Jew, from a strange and thirsty man? What intrigued her was his words, kind, gentle, and without arrogance. He spoke to her about the gift of God, instead of asking for her price to calm his manly and lustful desires. The cheap cash her 5 husbands had paid her, leaving her hurting so badly. What a way this man had to catch her attention. Jesus spoke to her about the living water, but he had nothing to draw water from the well to quench his own thirst. Why would he promise something he couldn't deliver? Why did he criticize her if he wasn't gonna stay? Was this man the prophet that the ancestors said that it was coming anyway? Too good and beautiful to be true. But how did he know everything about her life? Was he more than just another prophet? Was he the Messiah himself, the anointed one? Why did he take that road to Jerusalem, which was the longest through the desert? Whom did he come to look for, if not for this Samaritan woman? There was no doubt in her head that he was indeed the Messiah, and leaving her jar on the edge of the well, she ran off to call on all the people in the village to come and see the man who had told her everything, one who with his word quenched the thirst of her longing. She found the one who would fulfill all the prophecies. When the apostles returned with food to the well, Jesus was hungry and thirsty no longer, for someone else had given him another kind of drink and food by the edge of the well. It was living water that had flowed from his heart. And now that there was no need for a jar, because out of her voice it was running, an overflowing river by word of mouth, in the middle of the scorching day.